Hello everybody and welcome to this week's video. It's a bit of a short one. It's a job we were doing in June. It's basically a Kitcar build and some of the stuff that come up in it was funny. I don't know what to call the video yet, probably like why idiots shouldn't touch cars or something like that. So basically a friend of mine's owned this Kitcar for the last 7 years, and about 4 years ago he had a slight off and hit the driver's wheel and it bent it all round. So he sent it to a place to get repaired, and they said there was quite a few parts on the chassis that were bent and they needed to replace those. They did. He paid a lot of money, had it back, and it never drove as it did before basically. So he put the car up and he just left it. Anyway, June he brought it over to me to have a look, and straight away, well, I'll just show you what we found. So this is the chassis that was on his car that had been repaired. What's the first thing you notice about it? Is it possibly the inch gap? Bearing in mind this is dead flat. So the back end is sat on the floor and the front end, yep, that's how twisted it is. And there's more. Have a look downwards at this. So getting this lined up with the table, there's ½ an inch gap. Bearing in mind this and this is the mount for the front suspension arms. That arm there is pretty much touching this upright, whereas the other one, I can get my hands behind it. That is awesome. And there's more. So this upright here is the side that wasn't repaired, so this is original. So look how nice and straight that is. And then the other side, look at the state of that. That's like a banana. And bearing in mind, this sets up all the front steering geometry. So, you know, that's pretty much giving it loads of negative camber there, as well as it's facing the wrong way. So you look at the old straight and look at this one, awesome. And then look at the welding. Look at the state of that. That's not seagull poo, that's pterodactyl crap. Arr, arr, arr. And then none of that is actually the worst bit of this massive bodge. Have a look at where they put the pedal box. So this is the main brace that goes down to the bulkhead. So if you have a front ender, this upper and lower bar is what's saving everything coming towards you. And I guess they couldn't refit the pedal box properly, because have a look at that. How can somebody cut out massive sections of the main brace that holds this car together? That's probably the worst thing I have seen in a long time. And then, so they've replaced all these bits quite badly. I'll flip it over and we can have a look at the other side, and I'll show you that they must have missed. Just have a look at that. So even though this side wasn't damaged because this was the crash side, it's flexed it across. It's actually kinked the pipe there and then pushed it down into here. No wonder this car didn't drive well, basically. Oh, have a look at that for some welding. Oh, it's nice that is. Take a picture of that and put it on my wall. Even I can do better than that. Even Keith can do better than that. Shh, don't tell him. It's heavier than what you think. So basically, after looking at all that, actually I forgot a bit, there's another bit here as well, I'll show you. When they've obviously cut this piece off, they basically changed this whole side. They've double skinned it as well, which is quite funny. So we basically said to the lad, look, the chassis is knackered, just try and find a second-hand chassis or a new one. And luckily enough he did. A chap was building one, never got it finished. It had a Hayabusa in, so a lot of the mounts were different, but it was straight, and that was the main thing. So we got the second-hand chassis, put it side by side next to his car, swapped all the parts over. We had to make all the engine mounts up. The fuel tank wouldn't fit. We had to make gear change mounts, loads of stuff. It's such a long-winded job, even though they're exactly the same chassis. they're just slightly different. I suppose it's just, that's the way it is as a kit car at the end of the day. And this is what we've got. And there we go. What a difference a month's worth of work makes. Look at it now, it's proper mint. So contacted the powder coaters. They had a 6-week backlog waiting list. We didn't want to wait that long, so Keith took the chassis, all the suspension arms, and sprayed them in a nice gloss black. Also, we painted all the floor pans to match too. This floor pan has about 80,000 pot rivets in it now that Simon had to do, so his arm's a bit like Popeye at the moment. He didn't moan once all the way through it, honestly. And before, the bodywork was like in a horrible creamy kind of colour. We've painted it now in Ford Frozen White, so it's kind of matching to all the suspension and running gear, but that's still Ford. The engine that's in it is 180 horsepower R1 engine, so this thing will absolutely fly. So what it needed was, you know, a safe chassis, so if the worst happens again, it's not going to just crumple up into him. Also, the bulkhead, look at that, I made that with my own fair hands. It didn't have a bulkhead before, so if he'd have had an engine fire, it would have just gone straight through to his feet or his passenger's feet and then throughout the car. So that there is nice and safe, stopping anything bad happening here going into this part. So I'm just waiting for a stick-on rear number plate to come, and then I can get it up the road and MOT it. But at least now with this new straight safe chassis, I ain't going to be worried about going up the road. It's only a quick video this was, I just thought it was so funny. What are your thoughts? So the lad paid quite a few £1,000 to have that whole front corner replaced. It's not the old stuff that's still in there bent, it's actually the new stuff they've put in all badly, so it's like that now. What would you say about that? Leave it in the comments. And what's your favourite bodge on the car? I mean, for me, it's the cutouts for each of the pedal box in that main, you know, strengthen the plate. That's awful. But yeah, just a quick different video. Just thought I'd share it with you. So next week's video, we're going on a hunt. We're trying to find the rarest car of all, and that is the world's fastest Mark 1 Escort. So make sure you tune in, join us on that journey where we're going to go out looking for one. So that's it for this one. I say it's just a funny little video, just thought I'd share with you. And I'll see you on the next one. Ta-da.